Hello. Once you've taken the PI behavioral assessment, we take that information and turn it into a PI behavioral pattern. In that pattern, we measure 4 different drives, or the 4 factors. They are A, dominance, the drive for influence on people and events; B, extroversion, the drive for social interaction; C, patience, the drive for consistency and stability; and D, formality, the drive for rules and structure. Understanding each one of these 4 drives will help us better understand a person and how they operate in the workplace. PI has administered over 20 million assessments, and to make it easy for you, we've created 17 reference profiles. Think of it as shorthand or an easy, digestible way for you to understand a wide variety of behaviors and needs. Your behavioral pattern might not fit exactly into one of these reference profiles, but most likely they'll come close. Your reference profile most closely matches the strategist profile. So let's talk about some basic needs and behaviors that come along with the strategist profile. So first and foremost, ownership. You have dominance in your pattern, so you have a need to have a say and take ownership and have authority on outcomes. You also have a sense of urgency, so you need variety, you need access to multiple different things throughout your day, freedom from routine. You also have some attention to detail and a need for some structure and some rules. It's important for you to have a few guidelines throughout your day to keep things moving along. You also are a bit more reserved and analytical in your style and your approach. You're more technical and factual in how you come across. Let's talk about some areas of strengths and challenges that come along with this profile. So for strengths, you're definitely someone who can take charge, who can look at both the big picture, but also understand the underlying details to it. You have the ability to do both. You're able to look at a very operationally focused approach to how things are going. You're able to really look at the situation, not just from that 50,000-foot level, but you can go down when you need to and get into the weeds for a little bit, not for a long time, but you're able to do that. A challenge that can come along with this profile is your direct communication style. You are definitely someone who does not need fluff, who is get to the point, very straightforward. And while that might be really efficient for you, for others who maybe need, more of a warm, empathetic communication style, that can come across as really jarring and maybe a little impersonal at times. Because you also want control over these situations and you want ownership, sometimes it might be hard for you to allow others into the process at times. Not always, but they might need to prove themselves to you at first. For decision-making styles, so your decision-making style is what we like to call more of a cautious risk taker. So there's definitely risk in your pattern. You definitely have the ability to see the bigger picture and you enjoy that. But because you have some formality in there, it's important that you have information. So there's going to be a little bit of a speed bump every now and then where you kind of slow down and you make sure that you have the information that you need and the information that you need to make that decision. Your decision-making style will also always be factual, technical, and analytical, not social and collaborative. Let's talk about communication style. So for you, communication style, as I mentioned earlier, is absolutely direct and to the point. Some would even say sort of right between the eyes. You do not need the fluff. You do not need that kind of warm, fuzzy approach. It's much easier for you to just sort of put it on the table, lay it out as you see it in black and white. In summary, some words that I would use to describe your profile are authoritative, fast pace, some attention to detail, reserved, analytic, and a cautious risk taker. So that's a little bit more about your strategist profile.